Shocking Nuggets free agency update. Is a massive extension incoming for a fan favorite player? Let's look at offseason moves and contract woes today on Nuggets Digest. What's up, Nuggets Nation? My name is Stuart Hicar, basketball fan, Colorado native, and also just a generally good person, the kind of guy who would tell you if your friends were making fun of you behind your back. Just a solid dude. With that said, there is something I need to bring to your attention here today, which is pretty shocking. Did you know only 2% of you are actually subscribed to this channel? That means that over 98% of you are missing out on the best gosh darn basketball analysis this side of the Continental Divide. So if you like what we do here at Nuggets Digest, hit that subscribe and like button to stay up to date with your favorite Mile High team. Okay, now that that is out of the way, let's get into it, guys. Obviously, I'm not in my regular setup here today. I'm on the road, just like the Nuggets were when they lost Game 7 of the Oklahoma City Thunder series. Really a brutal loss. AG was hurt. We were banged up. We weren't looking like ourselves, and by the fourth quarter, it was long gone. Sad to see. However, I like to stay on the positive side of things here. We are a team who fired our head coach and our general manager 3 games before the end of this season, and we still got to the semifinals. And guess what? We took the best team in the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder, just statistically based on wins. We took them to 7 games, which, if you really think about it, for a Nuggets team who I think we all think was lacking in terms of the bench and what our players were able to do, including injuries, that's pretty impressive. We should really feel good about that, or at least take it as a bit of a moral victory for now. Obviously, the Thunder won. We can hate on them for as much as we want. We can say, hey, Caruso was draped all over Jokić the entire series. They called fouls in the first quarter and then never seemed to call them again. But look, we lost the series. It's okay. We'll see them next year after we've made some big moves. And that is what we are going to be talking about today, are some of those moves that could be happening. First things first, obviously, Jokić isn't going anywhere. I think he is a classic European player in that he really respects his fan base. He likes the cities he's in. And I think he has a connection to Denver just because of the way he was drafted in terms of an out-of-nowhere star who's been really paid well and taken care of. I do think we have to make some moves during this offseason to make it known to him that we are willing to change things around him to get him wins and get him rings. You definitely don't want a situation like Giannis in Milwaukee where he feels a little bit out on his own. He's shopping trades right now, looking to go to another team, obviously. And that has to do with the fact that they've been bounced out of the playoffs 3 years in a row now, I think in the first round, which really is unacceptable for a team with a superstar of that magnitude. They need to be building around him, and they need to be making deep playoff runs. And that's what the Nuggets should be doing too. Now, compounding those issues is really a lot of contract issues, right? We had at least 2 guys in our starting 5 who are getting way overpaid for the amount of contribution they do to the actual team and to our winning numbers. First off, right off the bat, Jamal Murray is the obvious issue. He is making the kind of money that the top 3 point guards in the league should be making, but he was pretty silent during the regular season, didn't really have any explosive games. And in the offseason, yeah, he played a lot better. He's a playoff riser. We all know that. You can't just look at his numbers based on the regular season to figure out how much you should be paying him. But at this point, I think it's safe to say that that contract might have been a bit of an overpayment after the championship. And I know a lot of Nuggets fans agree with me. We like him. We'd love to keep him around. But right now, we need more production from him if he is going to be making the kind of money he is, which locks up so much of our other moves. It's not like we can move him anywhere. There is not another franchise in the league that is interested in paying the kind of things we are paying Jamal. Just to look at things a little bit closer, Jamal is making over $50 million a year over the next 3 years at the very least. And it's just a rough contract. It's one of those contracts that's not going to be moving anywhere. It's going to be with us for quite some time. And the other one to look at is really Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. is... when we gave him this contract, I think we all thought that he was going to be making a jump to become, if not the number 3 guy on our team, maybe the number 2. There was a lot of hope behind him. And I know the ownership of the team really liked Michael Porter Jr., so they wanted to keep him around. And right now, he is getting paid again, like a really solid number 2 or number 3 guy on a team. And unfortunately, and I know he was injured in the playoffs, but before that, he really was not making the impact you would need from a player with this kind of contract. However, the good news is on it, he's only got 2 more years on that contract, which makes it available for a trade. It makes other teams interested, possibly if they are, a middling team. The one I have seen interest from is going to be the Hawks. There have been a lot of trades interest there, and I think there are some pieces that could be moved around to make that happen. We'll see. I do think Michael Porter Jr. is probably the most likely to be traded this offseason, but again, we're so locked down with these salaries and we don't have the draft picks to move around to sweeten deals, so it is definitely a hard one to know exactly what is going to be happening next. But the one thing we absolutely can guarantee, this guy's getting paid. Christian Braun. This is an explosive season from the former Jayhawk. Just really impressive rate of play. I think his average scoring increased something like more than 8 points, his average score, which is incredible. Only like 2 or 3 other players in the league managed to make that happen. And I think he's got the energy and the kind of game that really complements other guys on the Nuggets. He's got the explosiveness, so if he runs to the rim, Jokić can hit him with a pocket pass. He can get the dunk. It just looks good. Guys with high energy like this, with a low contract, they're solid to keep around. We learned the hard way, giving up Bruce Brown and guys like Jeff Green, KCP, that these guys are kind of the spirit and the backbone of your team. So I think he is going to get paid, and there are a few people in the industry who definitely agree with me on that. This is from Bobby Marks, or Bobby Marks. I misspelled his name, but you know who he is, on Braun's extension. Christian Braun will get paid. He's a terrific player, and he fits what you're trying to do. I think the number is at least $30 million per year, which I think is a fair number. It might be a little bit of an overpay, but again, I think they really, really like this kid. I think they really like what he brings to the team in terms of energy, defense, the 3-and-D. And again, the leap he made this year was so seismic that if he even gets a little bit better in the next 2 years, that contract is going to pay for itself. And, I think his stats actually back that up. If you look at some of his points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, he is doing so much better than he was just 1 season ago. These are big jumps. And sure, a lot of that has to do with him getting more minutes on the floor, but I think it also has to do with a guy coming into his own, feeling way more comfortable getting those passes from Jokić, feeling way more comfortable at the arc, shooting big threes in games. And you saw some of that in the playoffs. So I do think we are going to see Christian Braun staying in Denver, and I do think he's going to get locked down on a pretty solid, high-paying role player contract for a guy who does solid 3-and-D. With that said, what else do we need to make changes with over the offseason? I mean, Josh Kroenke, team president, said one thing: outside of the championship, this is the most proud I've been because these guys have really rallied. And I agree with him on that. I actually think they worked incredibly hard to get to where they were in this offseason, and I don't think anyone saw us not just getting through the Clippers in 7 games, but taking the Oklahoma City Thunder to 7 games is an impressive thing, even if we didn't win it out. They are a very, very good team, and we are, essentially for a lot of this season, we had a 6-man rotation and we had guys injured. So feel pride when you think about this season and know that we have, who knows, a couple of years left of really incredible prime Jokić, best player in the world, to build around. And I think that is what we're going to be focusing on moving forward. A few things, off-season moves that obviously need to happen. First thing, shop MPJ. We definitely talked about this earlier, but I do think he's one of those pieces that different teams would be really interested in, just in the way he fits into an offense as a jump shooter, a knockdown three-point shooter sometimes. And he's still young. He's 26, I think. So he's still got a lot of gas in that tank and could stick with the team and hopefully make a bigger jump for them. He's just not making the impact we need right now. And while I love the dude, his podcasts are crazy. And I think that should also be in consideration. Now, secure a head coach. A lot of people have different opinions about David Adelman, the interim head coach. We fired Michael Malone with only 3 games left in the season, and I think David Adelman did a really, really good job. Is it enough to guarantee him the position going forward? I'm not 100% sure. I thought he made some really great defensive moves, and Mark Daigneault, the head coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder, definitely gave him his props, said he was coaching like a guy with a lot more experience than he had. And let's be honest, 3 regular season games and 2 Game 7 7s in the playoffs. Those are some crazy stats for a coach. So I wouldn't be mad if we gave him an opportunity, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we went in a different direction. I think they are looking for someone young. This is a younger team, so I think having someone who can speak their language is important. But that also means getting a GM first and knowing what their general management plan is. They've got a lot of moves to make. They've got a lot of decisions to make and a lot of salary to go around. So having a GM locked down since we fired Calvin Booth would go a long way towards those plans. Right now, we're kind of a ship without a course. You know, we're adrift at sea. And having a GM locked down, especially one with a vision for this team and how we could go forward, is really important. So keep an eye out for both head coach and GM announcements, hopefully coming in the next month or two. And again, who knows? Maybe we get some really great pieces back, some draft momentum for MPJ, but we'll see what moves get made this offseason. That said, what did you think? Did you like my opinions? Did you think they were absolutely insane? Do you think that I should be sent to Cancun with the rest of the team as a punishment, by the way? Whatever you might think, that's totally okay. Just join the community down below. Hit a comment, send a like, and subscribe. We really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching another piece with Nuggets Digest. My name is Stuart Hicar, and this has been another perfect video. Oh my God, 10 out of 10. Yeah, it was perfect now that I'm thinking about it. That's crazy. Wow. Okay, well, until next time, go Nugs.